Okay, in this video, I'm going to move on to drawing the nose at 3/4 view. I thought it would be easier just to add on to my eyes since I already have kind of the top of the nose started. And so you're welcome to do that as well, okay? With 3/4 view, I find it's really hard to just draw the individual parts of the face like we did with drawing the front of the face. It's hard to just draw a nose. It all kind of ties together and relates together. So I really like drawing it more together. Okay, so with drawing the nose at 3/4 view, a huge indication of if you're, getting things correct is when you compare the edge of the nose to the edge of the cheek. I'm always looking for this on my students' art because it's a really good sign if you're on the right track, okay? So always pay attention to, so since I have her cheek drawn, and if you haven't drawn your cheek yet, go ahead and draw that. And then I can measure my angle with my pencil as well. Okay, now drawing a nose from 3/4 view is different than drawing it front view because it's much more of a three-dimensional object, okay? So let's talk about it before we draw anything at all. Let's just look at our reference photo here. So all noses, they have a plane change. A plane change is when it changes direction. So this part of the nose is, light would be falling on it, and then it changes direction and starts coming back in towards the face. So if you were to look at it from profile, this is what someone's nose would look like from profile view. Right here, this is the plane change. And all of this is usually in shadow because it starts to come back in under the face. Let me just give you some things for context. Okay, so you want to pay attention to that plane change. Then we'll have the nostril, the skin between the nostril, and then the nostril on this side. What you'll normally see here with 3/4 view, okay, so let me back up. So usually when I'm drawing a nose 3/4 view, I'm going to draw this line and then not the nostril or the edge of the nose, I'm drawing the skin between the nose, okay? So I'm gonna, once I get to this point where my cheek and my nose are as close as they need to be, then I start curving it back in and I'm paying attention to this line right here, the edge of the nostril. So a lot of times when I have this drawn, students are like, that nose looks weird. And it's because it's not finished yet. Okay, so you don't have to draw this line, but just very lightly, I want to show that, this is the plane change. Okay, this nostril is usually pretty easy. It's usually just a little bit of a curved line and connected to the outside edge of the nostril, this nice little curve right here. And I've drawn a lot of noses at 3/4 view, and almost always it's a very similar shape to what she's got right here. This nostril and then the side of the nose. As far as placement, we want to compare it to the eye. So if I draw a straight line up, it's just a little bit left of the corner of the eye. So I've got my placement right. And then I could add the other skin of the nose, the other edge, and that's going to be parallel to this line right here. And then you've got a little area where you can shade. Okay. Now this nostril on the left side is going to be harder. It's just like the eye over here. It's just, we're seeing less of it. It's we're seeing some of it, but not a lot of it. So it's just kind of this little thing. Now, mostly you just need to suggest that it's there. It's definitely not as important. It's going to be in shadow as everything on this side of the eye. So don't stress out about it too much, but it does need to be there. So, and it's going to be different with everyone's differently shaped noses and the angle, but it's just something like a little addition on there. Like I said, don't overthink it. It's going to look weird for now. As long as it's shaded darker, you're going to be fine. Okay, no one's going to look at it. Okay, and then as far as shading goes, like I said, it just depends on the lighting, but typically all of this underneath here is going to be a bit darker because it's a plane change, and the light doesn't hit underneath that nose typically. Also, if it seems like this separation shouldn't be there, I can also erase this line and just combine those two shapes with shading.